Thanks for that, and thanks for everyone in regards to staying in tune. Really awesome stuff rolling and really parallels a lot of the things that we've been doing. So very quickly in the time that we have left, just wanted to introduce myself. Obviously, my name's B from Mates in Construction, and we provide suicide prevention and mental well-being training on construction sites in Auckland predominantly. We've been going since October last year, and yeah, I'll get into a little bit more of that, but I've just got very quickly, I just want to share my screen here and see if that works, and then see if we can get going. I've just got a very quick presentation that I want to talk, which actually is very much in line with what Roland was talking about in regards to having some actual tools when we go back to work. So again, a little bit about Mates of Construction. We've been going since October last year. It was originally derived in Australia. So Mates in Construction has been going for 10 years over there and been hugely successful in regards to reducing the suicide rate considerably in Australia. And it's a combination of some of the systems and tools that they've put in place. They're operating in all four states. And the New Zealand industry really wanted Mates in Construction to kick off here in New Zealand. So again, we've been going since October on the ground here in Auckland and looking to try and branch out into the whole industry here in New Zealand. So we've been engaging prior to COVID-19 in regards to suicide awareness, and Roland's pretty much covered that there is an issue here in the construction industry. Unfortunately, the construction industry, as many of you would know, or maybe you don't know, is the leading industry in regards to suicides in the workplace, which is really concerning. So prior to that, like, we've done some incredible work. There's about four field offices now, and we provide this training on site, face to face. Obviously, COVID-19 has put a stop to that, but we've been incredibly busy over the last 4 weeks in regards to ensuring that those in the construction industry, not just the partners that we've been working with, but also anyone, not only in construction construction Auckland, but also in New Zealand, so countrywide, can access some of the tools that we have in regards to just helping people, give them enough tools to understand how they're tracking and in regards to their well-being. So I guess just on the back of that, on the back of what Roland was talking about, in terms of some tools, we've got an induction, a mental health and support guide for induction. Understanding that, of course, we're looking at going back to work as an industry. What does that look like now, and some of the fears and anxieties that some of our workers will have in regards to coming back. Now, I know that predominantly health and safety in terms of the physical aspects are very well covered, but also just to talk of what Roland was saying, the other part of that is how are we doing internally. And so we've come up with, it's a guide for induction. And if you can see the slide, I'll just take you through that. And hopefully we can see what's going on there. So obviously, Mates in Construction, our motto is Mates talking to Mates. It's about increasing the capacity for people on the ground to actually understand, one, when someone isn't traveling too well, and also two, what they can do about that. So we are constantly opening up forums of discussion and talk. As you know, the construction industry in New Zealand is male dominated, so talking is probably not a most natural thing. It certainly wasn't for me, but it's time to actually send that message out. It's so important now, if not before, to actually have those conversations. So you'll see there, the induction will give you the resources to have those conversations. So practical tips on how to have those conversations, where to find the information that they need to find, and just giving people a place to be able to express how they feel, and some of the internal workings that they're thinking that are causing that anxiety and what to do with it. So our key at the bottom of there is it's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to do nothing about it. So the two-step process is really helping people identify on the work site, and also for those of you that are there trying to manage people in what's a very stressful time. So, if you weren't stressed out before, certainly COVID-19 can certainly push some buttons for you, and we want to be there to give you all the tools to be able to manage that. So you'll see here's some of the steps that part of the induction pack has, and you'll see there five simple steps to help people actually manage when they go back to work. And you'll see there, de-stress, step back, take a breath, and so some practical guides, because I think sometimes what we do is we give a bit of a framework, but in terms of having some practicalities and something for a guide for people to follow, this is one of the most effective ways that we've found. And this has actually come from industry. Again, we've spent the last 4 weeks having Zoom support meetings for anyone in the construction to jump on. And so we've managed to clip these together as some really helpful guides in regards to just allowing people to have some tools when they get back there. If there's something that's distressing them, then follow these steps. You'll see at the bottom there, and engage as well. So, and again, you might not just need to chat to someone. I saw some of the questions earlier on in regards to what happens if it's an employer or it's someone, your boss, that's a problem. Again, mates in construction is part of the industry, but we're confidential. So we offer an 0800 number where anyone in the construction industry can ring us and actually start talking to us about some of the issues, and then we can then start to respond to those concerns. We just move forward there. And again, it's not just about spotting someone else, but we find and have found that, now engaging with over 2,500 construction workers since October and over 50 sites just in Auckland alone, it's really important to be able to give those messages and opportunities for people to grasp on. We found that people have been very, very responsive to that. So again, part of the pack is knowing how to spot the signs. And the changes in behaviour are really key. Roland covered a lot of those, which is great. But we've got some fairly good images there, and you can see there some of the changes that we're looking for that may come if people are highly agitated easily. You can see if they're normally talkative, then they're isolating themselves, and where they're usually sociable, then maybe they're being a bit distant. And this could happen as they return back to work. So the other signs there that we see, they're finding it hard to cope with things every day, struggling to concentrate, struggling to finish tasks, and then using alcohol and drugs as a way of coping. And you can see the other one there, I've just sort of blocked that off there. I'll just move over. Coming to work late. So again, these are all signs. We call them in mates in construction, and we call these invitations. Sometimes, when you say danger signs, it means stay away, but we actually want to use these as ways to open up conversations to say, look, if you do spot this and you see this in your work site as a manager or maybe as a co-worker, then, we don't want you to stay away. We want you to actually have those conversations, not making it to work at all. And again, it's okay. And that's one of the main messages that we are putting out to industry. Hey, this is stressful for everyone. So don't think you're letting the team down by having these thoughts. It's okay. But what we want to encourage people to do is actually reach out and discuss and talk about how you're feeling. So we go on to the next slide there. I'll just move my slide. So how to start. So we've got some fairly good tips around how to start a conversation. Just understanding that these conversations are not normally natural. They don't come normally. I think one of the biggest feedbacks that we've had on site is, hey, what if I see that someone's not traveling well? What do I do then? So we give people, opportunities. We give them little tips in regards to how to start those conversations. We call it 10 seconds of courage, because at the end of the day, it can really save a life when you can actually ask someone. And I think Roland touched base on that, which was great as well. The simple question, are you okay? I've sort of seen these things and I'm concerned, So here's some tips for some of our guys. They can follow those tips in terms of conversation starters. And you can support a mate. Sorry, I'll just go back there. So supporting a mate you think is having thoughts about suicide, and again, take them seriously. So we provide general awareness training prior to COVID-19, and we give out every construction worker, the tools to be able to, one, spot if someone's not doing well, and then two, how to have that conversation. And the key is really to try and funnel them through to the support that's out there. We can't be everywhere, but the key is to increase the capacity at the ground level for people to say, look, I might not have the answer, but I'll tell you what, let's go to someone that can. And so it's about pathwaying people to the help that's out there. So these are some of the things: supporting a mate that you think is having thoughts about suicide, and actually giving people the tool to have the confidence to ask those questions. So along with the induction pack is a self-care guide, which covers things like be kind to yourself, which is sometimes overlooked. The pilot goes down and you're looking after people, or the plane goes down as well. So look after yourselves is the first step. Obviously take some time for self-care. Again, just some reminders of some of the things that we've been doing for the last 4 weeks. Develop your key relationships, make sure that's up and running, and as well remove negative influences in your life. I think there is one more. Yeah, that's the one that I really like, is eat, drink and sleep healthily. So that's cool. So very quickly, that's part of the pack. This is a bit of a lineup of our team. So there's 5 of us now, and we manage the Auckland area. As I say, 2,500 people. It's only been 4 months, and our goal is to try and bring this resource to the whole of New Zealand, and ensure that everyone gets the tools and the opportunity to be safe. So you'll find these resources on our website, and Roland alluded to it before, www.mates.net.nz. So you'll find in there, this whole induction pack is available for you to download and take away. If you wanted to use specific pieces, you can use the individual pieces, however you feel it is possible to support your guys. I saw a question in there about Toolbox Talks. We've developed the Toolbox Talks because we've been talking to industry and talking to our partners about coming on board and taking part face-to-face in regards to a toolbox talk around mental well-being. So that too would be available. And if you go on the website, there's a plethora of information there, but we've got a whole bunch of resources that are there as well. You can see COVID tip 19s and mental health advice for returning to work. The self-care guide is there, as well as knowing how to spot the signs. So quite a lot of resources that we have available. So again, feel free to jump on the website and jump on there. The other services that we provide is the 0800 number, and Roland alluded to that as well. 0800 111 315. Again, anyone in the construction industry, ring that number. It's 24/7 helpline. Free text 5353. So we will respond in that way as well. And again, if you want to contact us, we've been doing like Zoom meetings, contacting our partners, and just trying to reach ground level people to ensure that the support is there. So that's pretty much our induction. Just to let you know that induction pack will be on the website, so feel free to go there, download what you need, and use it. If you wanted us to come on board into the actual on the actual site and deliver the toolbox, and again contact us through that website, and would love to jump on. Apart from that, stay safe, everyone. It's been a fairly long session today. Thanks again to Brett and Site Safe for allowing us to be a part of this. And I don't know if there's any questions, or if anyone does have any questions either now or later. I'm happy to take any.